Live from Thornbury Creek at Oneida, this is Locker Room with Local 5 Sports Director Bert Griffin. Now your host, Bert Griffin.
In primetime, the Packers found out exactly where they stood in the NFC North. So now playoff positioning is at a premium in the league overall. But there's no rest for the weary at this point, with a Sunday night showdown in Seattle against the Seahawks coming up. Get ready for another edition of Locker Room. Good evening and welcome to the show. Locker Room right here at Thornbury Creek at Oneida, the golf course this season. Well, the Packers right now have 4 games left in the regular season, and now they will play their third in a row in prime time on the road against Seattle in a huge game with NFC implications. We'll talk more about that with our special guest tonight, Packers offensive lineman Sean Rhyan. But first, let's hear it for former Super Bowl champ and defensive back with the Pack, Jarrett Bush, everybody.
All right, man. Hey, that intro never gets old, Bert.
Right? All right, it's only happened a couple times this year. We got to talk about a loss. We see where the NFC stacks up. But look, Green Bay is this close. They do a couple little things better on both sides of the football, and any one of these games could have turned out a little bit differently. Yeah, they got behind the Vikings early, but Philly, Detroit twice, and obviously Minnesota, they're the class of the league, and Green Bay's right there.
Yeah, hey, at the end of the day, it's not where you start, it's where you finish, Bert. And when we won it in 2010, we definitely were not sitting pretty, but look where we finished, and we were sitting pretty nice with that championship ring. And I think the Packers are doing just that. I think they're just doing enough just to get into the tournament. And that's all you want. That's all you want is opportunity just to get into the big tournament, to hope, in one hope, to get there to the big game, Burke. And so I think they just got to keep doing what they're doing, keep compounding that running game, as well as just keep strengthening their strengths.
Well, and I think you bring that up because in 2010, when you won a Super Bowl, I believe you were 10-6 in the number 6 seed.
Yeah, for sure.
Right now, they're sitting at the number 6 seed. So look, it can be done, and there's no truly dominant team right now. As far as that Lions game was concerned, once again, you cannot dig yourself a big hole.
No, definitely. I think definitely the self-inflicted wounds are definitely the biggest things that you could probably not do, and just understanding the capitalization of that for the other team and capitalize on those mishaps on the other team. I love the rushing 5 versus 4, which I think defensive coordinator Hafley has definitely made that adjustment. I love that aspect. And going to entrusting to Christian Watson. I think that's a big elevated step for Matt LaFleur.
Well, and we saw more of that in the second half. Look, David Montgomery powered his way in for a touchdown. Josh Jacobs in the O-line for Green Bay responds. They get that touchdown right at the end of the half, and coaches hate that at every level. You can't give one up right, a cheap one, as they say, right before halftime.
Right.
But you mentioned Watson, and then all of a sudden, they start moving the football up and down the field and take the lead. In the second half. I thought, okay, here we go. This team's rolling.
For sure. And it's just a matter of fact for them to catch fire, and start matriculating the ball, start manufacturing points at will pace. And that's what you want. You want the offense to be able to be prolific and to be able to score at will. If we want to slow the ball down the field, then so be it. But at the same time, we want to be able to be that attack arsenal, bring out our repertoire, and utilize our offensive weapons like Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, and Josh Jacobs.
And look, give the Lions credit. Nobody knew probably Tim Patrick's name before that game. You do now. And then they had the final kick, and look, they played their cards right, and they went for it on 3rd down, 4th down, and sometimes that'll backfire, and like last year against the Niners for Detroit in the playoffs, this time it didn't backfire, and it worked exactly how we wanted it to.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, there's a saying in football that, the running game can gas you, but the passing game will kill you. Well, and towards the end of that game, you start seeing the running game starting to gas us a little bit, and we weren't putting our cards in the right place to be advantageous for us, and you started seeing them milk the clock and manufacturing yards within the running game, and it really we saw the Packers suffer in that, and the Detroit took their time and kicked the field goal, at the end.
All right, we're done talking about that.
Yeah,
you know what time it is, right?
Yeah. What time is it, Bert?
It is time now for our pivotal performance, powered by local IBEW 158 for the second straight week. Isaiah McDuffie was absolutely all over the football field on the defensive side of the ball. In that loss to the Lions, he had 15 tackles total, 4 of those solo, helping limit the Lions to just 3.3 yards per carry on the ground. Packers linebacker Isaiah McDuffie with our pivotal performance powered by IBEW Local 158. This guy, he's actually our guest next week, everybody, just so you know. He seems to get better as the season goes along. He's a veteran. He's played some football, but possibly playing his best of his career right now.
Yeah, man. Get that guy an ice cream pop or a Subway sandwich at the end of the day and an ice-cold bath because he's definitely sore with 15 tackles, flying around the field from sideline to sideline, I'm sure, helping out in the run game as well as the pass game. The guy played phenomenal.
And you could probably get him a nice little free agent contract, too.
There you go. It won't be so bad.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back on Locker Room, Packers offensive lineman Sean Rhyan is in the house right here at Thornberry Creek at Oneida. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Locker Room right here at Thornberry Creek at Oneida. Fawn taking care of business with the DJ. Please keep it going for Packers offensive lineman Sean Rhyan, everybody. Hey, big guy.
Good, how about you?
Good to see you.
Good.
Well, what's your attitude along with the rest of the fellas? Jarrett and I talked about it a little bit. You're still one of the best teams in the NFL. You're playing very tough, right to the wire against those other best teams in the NFL. You just got to make another play here and there, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, we're a little bit sour about last game, but, you know, we got to focus on the next one and try to go 1-0.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, talk about like what your body feels like at this point in time of the year. We talked about McDuffie and getting him a ice pop and ice bath as well, just for his hard-earned efforts. What does your body feel like when we talked about the massage schedule? If you can kind of give the audience a glimpse or a snapshot of like what that looks like and how your body feels.
Well, right now, I mean, shoot, we're pretty late in the season now. It's actually helping out that it's not too cold out here right now, you know, right. Keeping the body a little bit looser. But yeah, man, we got like 3 days a week at the facility that they schedule massages for us. We just have to sign up. So I take advantage of that. A lot of the other guys take advantage of it just because it's such a huge side of it that late in the season, sometimes guys forget, you know, the body is the money maker that keeps you going. Right. So it's a huge part, that sauna, you know, cold tub, even though it's cold outside still.
Right. Steam room, hot yoga maybe?
Yeah, some guys do.
Everything.
Pilates, yeah, all of it. Just trying to stay flexible, I would say, at this point in the season, yeah.
Especially on those cold weather games here at Lambeau.
Yeah.
Like, do you have any specific tricks that you use? Because some guys have certain things they do just to stay warm and be loose and ready for the game.
I mean, some guys, you know, just goop Vaseline and put it everywhere, but you know how it is for O-linemen. It's like, you don't get anything. You get a thicker little undershirt, and that's about it. Yeah. You go out there.
Yeah. So I got to ask then real quick, do you wear sleeves? Or is that a pride thing anymore? Because that used to be for the O-line, right?
Yeah.
Don't ever wear sleeves.
Let them
but
know.
At some point, what's your approach?
Well, now I think, you know, you see some guys wearing sleeves, but I think it's for warmth a little bit, but also, you know, just to look a little bit cool and stuff. But man, I'll tell you what, those hands all of a sudden get a lot harder when your arms are cold. So, you know, I have like I'm pretty much wearing sleeves without wearing sleeves, with my tape. But I don't think it's a pride thing anymore. I think it's a kind of go out there and perform type of thing. Yeah.
Practicality.
Yeah.
I think most importantly for me, I think going out there without sleeves was a psychological attack, especially if you're playing Arizona, Miami, any type of warm type of climate team. We come out there with no sleeves. These guys are like, man, yeah, we go and take groceries like this, like in this type of weather, people. Like, let's go. Yeah. And so seeing those warm climate teams, you know, shiver in their bones, you know, up in frozen tundra, I'm sure that plays a huge psychological aspect.
What he's saying is Miami had no chance Thanksgiving night, did they?
No. I mean, a couple of them boys came out with no sleeves on, but once halftime hit, and then you look over and see those same guys on the sideline, like right around the heater, like, you know, so it's like, it got to you a little bit.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, shoot.
Yeah. So talk about the bracelets. My daughter would love these. Is that something that I see? Is that kill them?
Go ahead, put it up for the folks to see.
I don't know if this is. I don't think this is appropriate for TV, ladies and gentlemen. But
okay, don't zoom in.
But that's not. But is that a motivational tactic, or I mean, those are like?
It's a little bit, yeah. It's just like a message,
okay.
You know, that I tell myself, and oddly enough, you know, this was just like a joke.
Yeah.
You know, from like 8 Mile. I can't say the line.
Yeah, sure.
But,
Like I said.
It kind of evolved around that, me and my pops, and then that one there is kind of just give me in the mentality that, like, you know, the other team, even if I know other people on the other team, I'm still a Packer, and, you know, gotta go out there and win.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Well, how has it been for you personally? I mean, you had high expectations for yourself.
Yeah.
After playing last year, you knew a guy like Sean Rhyan was going to leave.
Yeah.
And, well, we didn't know until he did, but he was going to get paid in the free agent market. Then the first round, they draft another offensive lineman.
Yeah.
But Brian Gutekunst and company, they like the versatility factor for guys who you can plug and play in different spots, and you proved your worth based on some of that. And now that he's out and he's hurt, do you feel comfortable? Are you loving life in the NFL as a starter? Because it looks like you're playing with a lot of passion.
Yeah. You know, just all that just pushes me every day, you know, that my job isn't secure. But being a starter in the NFL is every kid's dream, and I can't say anything, you know, bad about it. Every day I get to wake up and go do my dream and get paid to do it too, so that's a plus.
Right.
Yeah, right. But no complaints, and I'm excited for this season and the rest of it, and see what we get to do.
Yeah, Sean, I'm big, just understanding the evolution of the player now being a retired athlete. Where would you say that your work ethic started when you got to the NFL, and where would you say that your work ethic is now, as far as like maintaining and being a starter now, and what, you know what I'm saying? Can you give the audience a glimpse or a snapshot?
Yeah, my work ethic was already pretty hard. You know, I think colleges do a really good job kind of instilling that in some guys. I can't speak for everybody, but I know that did it for me, as well as my pops and my ma as well. But just being in the league now and being around, you know, real veterans and grown men has just kind of, I wouldn't say increased my level of work ethic, but it's changed the way that I go about doing certain things. Like my body, you know, just taking advantage of what they offer, as well as, you know, the mental aspect of, you know, in college, it's a little bit different. Now you really have to, you know, study it, just because every, you know, play is a game of chess. And, you know, I guess every day going to work with professional athletes, it just makes you, you know, work just a little bit harder every day. So I think it's, you know, it's a positive, you know, feedback loop. You know, I see D-line, we just keep making each other better every day. So
goes back to that old saying, iron sharpens iron,
exactly.
right?
That's right. That's
and
right.
Look, and your story is documented since you've been in the NFL for quite some time. You're a rugby guy, and you kind of took your rugby skills, turned it into college, and you used it to pay for it. And you remember you saying, "Look, Mom, Dad, I'm good. I took care of it. I got it scholar." Was that your approach the whole time? Because, and I would say I'm going to follow that up with multi-sport athletes. This guy threw it the shot put over 60 feet in California, where that's like a huge deal. It's a big deal in the Midwest too, but multi-sport athletes, do you think that kind of helped mold you to get to where you are?
100%. 100%. Just being well-rounded as an athlete in general. You know, playing baseball, you know, hand-eye coordination. Playing rugby, toughen you up a little bit. And then shot put is very technical. So then that kind of I started working on, you know, keeping the elbow up, you know, a little bit more.
Explosion.
Exactly. Power, all of it.
Power. Quickness,
exactly. See, now it's you guys are filling in for me. It's just, you know, completely rounding out your whole athletic skill set.
All right. When we come back on Locker Room, we're going to have plenty more with Packers offensive lineman Sean Rhyan. But first, time now for our Easy Tabs Fan Cam. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Locker Room. We are right here at the official golf course of the Green Bay Packers, Thornberry Creek at Oneida. Our guest tonight, Packers offensive lineman Sean Rhyan. I know you can't give away the game plan, but when you guys look at a little tape on Seattle, what do we know? Because all we see is, hey, they started 3-0, then they lost some games, and now they've won 4 in a row. They're sitting atop their division, and they know they kind of have to win that division to get in. I mean, just the way things are kind of shaping up, what do you see from Seattle and their defense?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, like you mentioned earlier, starting off the year and then catching this kind of hot streak right now. You know, they're going to be playing real well. You know, you can kind of look through the film and, you know, pick apart things, but, you know, they have the momentum and they have some guys, like all NFL teams do. Yeah. They got some guys along the line. But we're just going out there and trying to focus on us and play our game and just go one play at a time and, you know, focus on the end goal.
All right, every week we go in the locker room. Time now for Cameron is there and In the Zone, presented by Thornberry Creek and Oneida Nation.
Here with Packers quarterback Malik Willis. Malik, you've been in Green Bay for a little bit now. Of course, most fans were introduced to you in those 3 weeks that you've played in Green Bay. What have you learned the most about your game over those games you've played and playing in the backup role?
I think I'm just continuing to learn each day and continue to just try to get better and focus on the details of this offense and, you know, just the structure of this team and how I best fit in it.
One thing I've noticed with this offense, you guys just have a lot of fun. How much fun are you having with this group? They're so young, and it seems like everyone gels together.
I think it's cool just being in this, just this place. I feel like it's special here in Green Bay, and you can definitely see it as such within the locker room and how guys interact with each other, and then that just bleeds onto the field, and everybody goes and plays for each other and just go out there and have fun. I think it's awesome.
When do you first think you settled in when you came to Green Bay? It was kind of quick. You got to jump right into things.
I think I settled in immediately. I mean, more than anything, I just try to lean on my faith. I mean, more than anything, just trusting in my Lord Jesus Christ and focusing on that and knowing that He has a plan for my life and understanding that wherever it takes me, I should be okay.
How have you and Jordan meshed as teammates and kind of, you know, guys that have to be almost brothers in that room because you guys got to be tight-knit just in case he goes down and you have to step in?
I think it's been great. Those both my guys, him and Sean, and even getting to know Magoo, I think that's been awesome. And I think they accepted me as soon as I got here. I mean, I knew Sean previously, working out together a couple of times, and I knew Jordan. We have the same agent, so I had a, you know, relationship prior. So it was awesome just to continue to build on that.
When you walk into this building and you have that hyper focus, trying to get better every single day, where does that mentality come from?
Yeah, I just want to win. I mean, that's what it's about. When you know, put aside all the, no offense, media, you put aside all the, you know, distractions that come from this game, and you go back to the basics of what is the point? It's to go out there and win. How do you do that? You continue to get better, so everything you do, you can leave on the field and be like, okay, I did my best. And I feel like that's the goal each and every time we go out there, to go and do your best. And if your best keeps getting better and better, that's better for everybody.
All righty, thank you, fellas. Backup quarterback Malik Willis. We can't really call him a backup anymore, can we? He starts.
Yeah, sure.
He started games.
Yeah. Tell the audience what it's like to block with one of the best running backs in the game.
Unreal. It's so fun to watch him just, you know, squirt through those holes and make guys miss and then just call people out and run them over too. I mean, he's a really good running back, and I love blocking for him. I love blocking for all 3 of our running backs too.
Yeah, you can tell that is for sure. When we come back, it's time to wrap up the show with Packers offensive lineman Sean Rhyan. We'll have our keys to the game and more coming up after the break. Welcome back to Locker Room right here at Thornberry Creek at Oneida. Sean Rhyan is our guest. Time now for our keys to the ball game, brought to you by the Dispensary. Take the crowd out. Seattle, one of the loudest places to play in the entire NFL. You do that by running the football and scoring touchdowns early on. Plus, let's create some real rhythm offensively. Sean, you feel like you guys are just a little streaky right now? Like you get on a run and nobody can stop you, and then you'll have a 3 and out, and then it's like, whoa.
Yeah, you know, exactly. You know, streaky, just going hot and cold. You know, we're trying to find that balance of starting fast and just being able to keep our foot down on the accelerator and keeping that flow that we have going. Defense been playing amazing. Yeah. So.
Packers offensive lineman Sean Rhyan, appreciate you stopping by. Best of luck against the Seattle Seahawks and the rest of the schedule. For Jared Bush, I'm Bert Griffin. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week. So long.
Thank you for watching Locker Room.